All right, we're here. It's the DJ Spider podcast presented by Beatsource. And we are here with someone who's making history. It's his third time on the podcast.
Woo.
No one else has done that, okay?
I can't believe that.
No, it's
That's
the truth.
crazy.
It's the truth. And someone that's from one of the farthest places from us, Australia.
I should be up. We should flip the camera.
Yes,
so I'm
that's
down
right.
Under.
Down under,
Yeah.
baby. Shrimp on the Barbie. Worst joke ever.
Yeah.
I need to introduce you to DJ Kronic. Let's go.
Hey.
Let's go.
G'day, can I?
Yeah,
swear?
we could say fucking what's up, cunt.
Yeah, g'day, cunt. Yeah.
What's up, all you cunts out
Yeah.
there?
I probably ask this every podcast I do. Can I swear? And then they say yes, and then it just fucking starts.
Yes, this is not family friendly.
Yeah. It is in
Or
Australia,
it is.
but
Yeah, in Australia, kids' first words are cunt.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they got it tattooed on me, you know. Like,
Oh God,
Yeah.
you got the cunt lips.
yeah, I gotta. It's falling out though, as you can see. Like, so I gotta get. I tell people I gotta get my cunt touched up.
Wow. Okay. So we've started strong here, guys. We're here in
Thanks
LA.
for having me back, man.
Of course.
Cheers.
You came on once during the pandemic. So we used technology through Zoom. You came on again
Yep.
with Sac Noel. Shout out to him.
Yeah, that was
kind of a
dope.
team, producers roundtable thing. And now we just hung out in Vegas. We were both there during Super Bowl weekend.
Yep.
I saw you out there. We had a fun 27 minutes.
Yeah.
We hung out for a few
It would have
minutes.
been longer if the
Yeah.
traffic. How
Oh my
crazy
God.
was
it?
it?
Was
dude?
it was
I've
impossible
never
to get
seen
around.
Vegas like that.
It was insane. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't go anywhere. And yeah, that was nuts. So, and now you're in Los Angeles and you're headed back, to the other side of the world soon.
Yeah. Back to our summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, that'll be nice.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't think I've ever been to Vegas when it's been that cold.
How cold? It was insane.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that cold.
It was pretty damn
It was
cold. I
fucking-
mean, I
yeah, it was
DJ'd
crazy.
outside. It was like 35 degrees. I could
Yeah.
not feel my hands. Like I was
Yeah.
frozen like to my bones
Yeah.
for the whole night.
It's crazy. But I've only ever known Vegas as hot because I've never been
same.
there.
There was
summer,
all.
so-
I mean, not same for me, but so many people they were telling me that. Like all these people from the East Coast, even New York, they're like, I didn't know it got cold here.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
I saw snow on the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I've been here
That's
when I
dope.
used to DJ every week. I mean, there'd be times where during the summer it's 105 at night, Fahrenheit for if we have different things.
You
Or
see, I still can't get my head around it.
And at night it was 25 degrees, Fahrenheit, which is freezing. It's like
Yeah.
probably less than 0 Celsius or something. So it gets cold. But yeah, it was amazing seeing you out there. And we thought it would be a great idea for you to come on and talk to everyone about what you did because this was one of the most hyped halftime Super Bowl shows, I
Yeah.
think, of all time. It turned out to
from
be,
what I hear, yes.
right? I mean, it seemed like everyone was talking about it before, middle, and after so
Yeah.
much. It was one of, I think, the most watched Super Bowl in the history of the Super Bowl, I heard.
That's what I've been seeing, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's
everyone's
incredible.
saying, which is,
And it was, Usher was the halftime performer,
Mm-hmm.
but he has a huge connection to Atlanta, who obviously Atlanta includes Lil Jon, someone you work with closely, Jermaine Dupri, and other people. And you were a part of putting together the music for the Super Bowl
indeed.
show. That's all I really know, so we'll get more into it. So yeah, I'd love to know kind of, I guess, first off, like, what did you do? But then I'd love to also go back in time and hear what led up to that point.
how it started and that, yeah.
But just working on the Super Bowl, like,
It's such a surreal thing to say, man. Like, I'm just some
Right.
bogan from Australia that grew up listening to Usher and Lil Jon and all the artists that
Right.
were there.
Yeah.
And to be able to say that I worked on not only like a show with them people, but the size of it. The Super Bowl is like the biggest stage in the world, essentially.
Yeah.
And this was one of, like you said, one of the most hyped ones. So
yes.
yeah, to be
I
able
think
to
it
work
was.
on that. Like,
It's incredible.
I've worked with Usher. Like, I mean, I don't know. Some people know, like, I've worked with Lil Jon for quite a while now.
Right. I mean, you
since
did.
Bend Over.
Right,
I
and-
did that with him. That was the first thing we'd ever done. That was like a decade ago.
Right. Crazy. And still a song I play, works in the clubs,
It's
really
still
dope.
bangs done in the club. Yeah.
Sounds great. Really dope song. Just like Turn Down for What? I mean, it fits in
Yeah.
that same genre, but it didn't fade away like some of the other songs
Yeah.
from that time. So, yeah, for people that don't know, I mean, Kronic has done so many different things in the production world and dance music world, and had other aliases and all types of incredible things, and started working with Lil Jon pre-Bendova, but
2012 or 13.
So probably
More than
over
decade.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
But you guys came out with Bendova around 10 years ago, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit more. And you've been doing work with Lil Jon in different situations, I guess, through that.
Yeah, since that, we just built a good relationship making music together, you know,
Yeah.
and we just would produce and we'd do stuff for his records. We put a couple of records out together. We do stuff that we would just sync, you know, and we
Yeah.
just worked on a lot over like the last 10 years. And
Right.
then it wasn't until like, it was 2018 and he hit me up because Usher had hit him up to do, Usher got asked to do this festival in Australia called R&B Fridays.
Okay.
Which is sort of kind of, I don't know, it felt like it started that whole era of like nostalgic acts from the 2000s doing these
Right.
big festivals because that's huge in Australia.
Does sorry, off topic for one sec, but does Yo Mafia DJ that?
Yes, she does.
Okay, so
yeah.
she was on the show. I met her through Twitch during the pandemic, and I've been following her, and she's incredible.
Yeah,
and
she's dope,
She
yeah.
told me the stories of that, and it rung a bell. Like, oh, is that the party she was talking about?
Yes,
It looks
yeah.
incredible, massive festival.
Yeah, I mean, like everything, it took a hit with COVID.
Yeah.
And, you know, the festivals aren't as big as they used to be in Australia.
Right.
But like, but we did it in 2018.
Okay.
He didn't ask me because I'm Australian, because it was Australia. It
just
luck
worked
of
out
the
like
draw.
that.
It's insane. And so he hit me about that, and you know, everyone knows Lil Jon's a DJ and a dope DJ, and so
Yeah.
Usher had asked him to like do the music, like put the show together, and you know, because I work that closely with Jon, I do a lot of the production side of it, and I'm like, I work with him on the creative, but I also like everything's in the Ableton, and so like it's a lot of almost like production / engineering, you know?
Yeah.
And then he asked me to do that, which was like, that was surreal enough, you
Right.
know, insane. And we kind of put that show together, was able to go on tour with them, tour my country with
How dope is that?
like two artists I grew up on.
Probably all your friends were like, "What the hell are you doing?"
It was insane. Yeah. You know,
and you're a mad cunt.
Yeah, and exactly a sick cunt, a mad cunt.
Sick
yeah,
cunt.
they loved it. And you know, like
incredible.
for a long time, people just knew me as the guy who was the DJ. You know, like you
Yes.
said before, I've been trying to do as much of work as I can in the background as I do in the forefront. You know,
Yeah.
like I love producing, I love working with other people, for other people on their projects and all that. And so, and as being a DJ doing the mixtapes, like I grew up making mixtapes. That's where I started.
Right,
So
you're
to
like
be
a
able to-
DJ, real DJ that also knows the production.
yeah.
Well, real DJ.
No,
that's-
yeah,
Someone
real-
that started DJing for the love of it. I
Oh,
guess is
yeah.
how I'm
Yeah.
saying in
Yep.
terms of real DJ. You know
Yeah.
that you were just attracted to everything
The
about
love of it. Mixtapes are what got me into DJ.
Yeah.
And like there's the group called Club Jordan All Stars, which was like our DJ Rectangle crew.
Okay.
You know, and so like that's them DJ Rectangle style mixtapes, like DJ Motto and the Club Jordan All Stars. That's what got me into DJing.
Yeah, insane. Me too. I mean, I
and-
would listen to those. It was mind blowing.
Yeah, it was amazing. And there were more productions than just live sets. So
Yes.
like that's what
I had to
got-
figure out how he was making it. You know,
I
I
thought
finally
that- I
got
thought
a
it was-
4-track, and I was like, "Oh, this is how they're doing it." You know, you can dub in over the other track.
I started on Adobe Audition or whatever that shit was
yeah.
called, you know. And I thought when I first heard that, I was like, this cunt must have like 10 arms and 12 turntables,
Right.
you know. But it's layered. It's a production.
Yeah.
And so like mixtape, live DJing and mixtape production, two completely different things.
True.
And so then that led into like helping my skill set develop to something to be able to have value to put together a show like this. So, you know, it wasn't just hit song, hit song, hit
Yeah.
song. It was like interweaved mashups. Like we'd go from, you know, like this verse, I'd drop into another beat and then breakdowns and transitions
Right.
and all that shit.
And that's for the Usher show
That was the
for
Usher,
R&B
because-
Fridays and the tour.
yeah,
it turned
R&B
into.
Fridays was Usher and Jon. Like they wanted to do it like Usher and Lil
Right.
Jon. Like
Okay.
Usher's the main act and Lil Jon kind of like like
Is part of it, does the
part
party
of it.
sets.
Yeah, we
that can
like
do-
did
yeah.
a 15-10-minute set in Usher's set of Jon stuff, and then he'd come out and do other bits. But
Right.
like that was, he'd done music direction before, but that was like a step back into it, and that was my first time. No, I've done it with artists, but not on that scale.
Right.
So that's kind of where that started, and
very cool.
It was amazing, and then from there, it just led on to more and more work like that.
Right, because Usher was almost not like he left and had to make a comeback, but he's gone through so much evolution and iterations of his career. So I think at that point, yeah, he's doing those tours, and then that leads into. Did that lead into the Vegas residency?
Yes, yeah. Okay, because I mean,
the pandemic happened a little bit after that.
There was that,
yeah.
and I felt it did feel like that show inspired not just him, but everyone around it was involved. Like, let's do this again. Let's get back on tour.
Yeah.
Like, this show was so big. Like, I'm talking 80,000 people at the Sydney show, 60,000 at the Melbourne show, and 2 weekends of that in Australia of all places.
Yeah.
Right. But, they fill the bill. Like, you've heard of Lovers and Friends, the Vegas one.
I mean, it looks like a joke. It's so many people, but it's real.
And it was like that, but a slightly smaller scale because it's Australia, not Vegas. But it was that for Australia. And, that kind of led us into, we worked with the Avila brothers, like Bobby and Iz.
Okay.
Who, like Bobby is.
And who are they in respect? I did see them. I follow them on Instagram. Don't know how I started following them. And then I saw them working with.
So DJ Iz is Usher's DJ, but also a producer on his own. And same with Bobby. Bobby's worked.
Okay. Are they from Atlanta?
No, they're from here. They were around, like, on the Confessions album.
Got it.
They worked on the Confessions album, and they've been staples in the industry as producers and DJ for like forever. But that's where I met them. Okay. And at first it was like me and John kind of putting that together, and we did a bit more with them, and then it wasn't until Usher got the offer for the Vegas residency that they were like, oh yeah, well, we got to do this again, Yeah. And then Iz was, I'll forget the specifics, but
it
was like it was now it's us four putting this show together, And so
for the Vegas residency.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when John got that call, he let me know, and I'm like, oh hell yeah! But then we're in the middle of COVID, and no bullshit, I put the whole show together with them over Zoom.
It's amazing.
7-hour Zoom sessions. It worked good for me because the time difference, I'd get up at like 6 a.m. and do a full day. Right. They're doing because they're late night. They love like working late, especially Usher. Usher seems to work late. At least at that time he did. And so we, it was Zoom sessions, putting it together, share screen with the Ableton, and I mean, I'm a part of a team. It's like I'm not doing it all, but
of course,
a lot of the time these type of shows might start in my Ableton, rearrange the tracks, and it's like, do this, do that, do that. We'll record some stuff. John will record some stuff. Bobby, Usher will come in and like, no, let's move that. I want to do this here. And like, oh, what if I do this here? And like, all that, and different iterations and changing and this
That's
and
so
that.
Cool. But having the DJ as a core part of all of this is something so important to point out.
Man,
that helps these shows flow in such a way that someone else might have a hard time doing.
Oh, 100%, man. The marriage between like musicianship and DJing in this, especially for this.
Yeah.
I say the same about beat making and songwriting too, but for this especially is like, you just know how to make shit flow and like what goes into what and where to be real quick with things and where to slow it down. And
I know DJ Mars, shout to him, is a big part of his show too.
100%. Yeah.
And he's an incredible DJ, and he's been with him since the beginning too, I think. Yeah. And he probably helps execute that flow and add on other DJ things and party moments before and after.
Yeah, because he does like the DJ break, and I don't know exactly that much because with the residency, I helped put with John and the Avila brothers. I helped put together the first year of the show.
Okay.
And it was all during COVID. Like I'm lucky, but also unlucky. I didn't even get to see it because I didn't be able to get back out until the next year, in which they went a different direction. It's still, there's a lot of what we had built in the second year show, but we can't do the same thing twice. We got to like update. So I was able to see that, which was awesome. And
that's cool.
That was, it was awesome to see like you know, sometimes you think about a Vegas residency for an artist and you think, oh, it's the end.
Yeah.
But it feels like Usher's brought back like the cool and the relevant.
It's different now,
of,
yeah,
like,
with
Vegas
Adele and all these
residencies.
people.
Yeah,
It's
and
just a thing, you know, and I think even the DJ culture may have pushed that forward in a way
Yeah,
because all the
totally.
DJs have these massive residencies and they're more relevant than ever by having it. So now it took a minute for the artists to be able to do that and not be seen as like washed up or old or something.
Yeah,
When
totally.
now it's like, oh, wow, look, they landed this amazing Vegas residency and people love these experience-based things, so they want to go be part of it, and it's bigger than ever now.
Yeah, and it was awesome to see it grow. And then, you know, from that, the Lovers and Friends offer came in, and that was essentially Usher, John, but now we're adding Luda to the mix.
Yeah.
And so it's like, whoa, what the
Right.
fuck? This is crazy to me. Like,
It's like one of the biggest songs everyone loves all over the world coming to life again.
and then being able to put together a show in the same way we did like the John and Usher thing, but then adding Luda's set into it too. So then now it's an hour and a half of them three,
Right.
you know, just back to back, like a 10-minute intro, which was like Luda song, Usher song, Luda song, Usher song, and then boom, Luda, John, Luda, John, Luda, John, and then boom, Usher comes out. And
oh, that's so dope.
like real, like thinking of it like a mixtape. Like that's what I give John heaps of credit for, is like we're like-minded or like that. He thinks like a DJ when it comes to this stuff. Like he DJs all the time still, and like just his ears to the dance floor, you know, like
he knows the psychology of it.
Yeah,
besides just the music.
Yeah, and then you know, besides clicking on the beat side of things, like clicking on that side of things, and I almost tell people sometimes when they ask me, "What do you like better, like working on songs with an artist like this or working on this show?" I don't know what to say, because like you're touching classics, and like doing your own little take on them, and it's like that's almost just as fun as like creating something new with them, you know?
Totally.
Like,
that makes sense.
I've got getting the stems and like, you know, the taking the drums out here, and then like, you know, the burn a cappella over like a Little John beat or something. Like, this shit's crazy. And the amount of iterations we went through in them shows were a lot. And then along comes the offer, you know, Usher's doing the Super Bowl.
When did that come in, or when did you find out about it?
I was in Vegas maybe 2 months before that happened with John, and he said to me, he goes, "Man, I think he might be doing the Super Bowl."
Wow.
And I think he'll ask us. And I was like, wow, you know, but I didn't think, you know, like there was not even rumors at that point. Like, I don't know if he just had special powers, you know, he's like, I'm manifesting this.
Right, he felt
but
the
I don't know
buzz
what he had
building.
heard, but like, you know, there was rumors before there was the actual rumors, and then, you know, and so then I went back to Australia and I kind of didn't hear nothing. Then the announcement happened, and then it was like probably a week or two after the announcement that John hit me up and he's like, yeah, they want us for the Super Bowl, because
amazing.
I was like, what? This is insane. Like, this is leveling up, you know, like all this work we've done has been amazing, but like the Super Bowl is a whole other beast, you know? And it seemed like, oh wow, this is more pressure, or like this is a bigger opportunity, and it's 12 minutes, you know? Which I got so excited about, because it felt like, you know, when you make a mixtape and it's like the 60 minutes is fun, but it's that 2-minute intro that's the most fun, because it's super fast time, it's speed, like
So
just
true.
little bit of this, that, and that one, whatever, you know? And so, the 12-minute mega mix is
so dope.
You know, my
that
fucking love.
everyone's gonna see and hear.
And so
that's incredible. So you guys get asked to do it, and then what's the process after that?
Basically, I think what happened is like the music director, and so the Avila brothers are the music directors. Sorry, they got asked to do it, and then bring John in and do it. And so like, and then John brings me in. And so it's like us four essentially with like Usher and all his creative team. And I went out to Vegas. Me and John started kind of getting on a Zoom with the Avila Bros, and, you know, just chatting ideas out. And like, you know, I kind of went into my own little world and was like, all right, I know the process, so I'm going to bring every song into my Ableton, warp it. I'm going to bring all the acapellas in and all the instrumentals in and warp them too, because I want to be able to like move shit around real quick and be like so on point when they're like, oh, what about that over that? So that I can like do that and then swap things out and like go to an acapella over, you know, like the Ludaverse from fucking, but put Goodies Freak a Leak. You know, that's like shit we did, you know.
Great idea, yeah.
And so like there's all that little preparation. We put together like a preliminary set first and then went into the studio with Ush and, you know, showed him. And then from then we just back and forth, working, like trying this, like the amount of things you throw against the wall, like different variations, all that shit. And like, I think I ended up at like version 101 before I sent the stems out. Now,
Really?
not every change is a huge change.
Yeah.
Like I hit save, new version when like you cut a
just
verse
in case
down.
you wanted to go back.
So you go back. And the amount of going back there was, because we could realize is that by the end of the process, when I got to the end of what the work I needed to do, I had to bring in all the stems of the songs. I think there was some sessions that had like 5 different variations of the 12 minutes. And each song is stemmed out, kick, snare, hi-hat, music, vocals, background vocals, all the effects, all the extra things. So it's like 150 stems, 3 to 5 12-minute variations of the full set. And then and not the same tempo either. Like, so when you're dealing with tempo transitions to an Ableton, it's like, it was, I can't believe, like, it's 20 years of mixtape production that I can actually be like, all right, boom, and move quickly in such a complicated, like,
that's incredible
session, you know?
It just shows you never know all the stuff you work on for
How's
no
gonna pay.
reason or whatever back in the day, just for fun, can lead into
which is nuts.
such a crazy opportunity where you're able to excel in that.
Yeah. And look, you know, like I would say that I kind of think of it as stage 1 I worked on, you know, of the music production. Like, and I say stage 1, Usher and that were probably thinking about it for the longest time before, you know, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
They kind of give us some info and then like stage 1, we put together the music, and then, you know, well, after I'd sent all the stems out to the guys, that's when they start adding the band, and then there's all these extra changes, and, you know, I was doing a little bit back and forth over Zoom then, but it was like amazing. They brought me back out this weekend to you know, witness the show and like to see what we had from the start to what it had become. It was like,
And just
crazy.
the crowd into it. Yeah.
That's unreal. Like so surreal. Like I'm so grateful to be a part of something so big with such legends. You know, like
that's incredible.
Everyone involved.
So dope.
Yeah.
And what, oh my God. So then what did you like, I guess one question I was thinking was like, that everybody kept talking about and acting like they would know is like the guests that were going to be a part of it. How did you know who would be a part? Like everyone's like, Justin Bieber's going to come out for sure. Like, but obviously you guys had to know that and it had to have been rehearsed all that.
Was certain knowledge.
How did you know, like, when Alicia Keys was locked in, or when anybody, you know, Jermaine and John were going to do, and Luda were going to do these parts? Like, was that all discussed, or?
Sort of. I mean, it's such a big team.
Yeah.
And so, like, there was obviously things I don't know and things.
Yeah. And so they tell you, hey, put this in, or just do this for no reason.
Yeah, and
you don't even know.
try a bunch of things out. I mean, I knew John was going to be there because we were working on the show and all that. And, you know, we kind of had prepped different versions, and then they go off and have their talks with the artists that did appear. And like it was, I don't know exactly when every one of them was confirmed. Yeah. But you had to, but did you even know, like, when you were doing the Alicia Keys part or something, that she was confirmed, or you thought maybe you were just doing edits of that song? Well, we kind of knew, like, we'd do certain variations and that would suggest, like, oh, if you were to bring her out, this is what you could do. You can, you know, you could try go into No One, or you could go into if I
right, you thought in your DJ brain
the name of that. Yeah, it's like you could go from that into that into that, and if she's coming out, it'd be dope. You could go sing back and forth over the hook or something, or like if Will's there, then like we got to make
Will.
OMG.
Will was
long
all
enough.
covered up.
Yeah,
everyone
like-
at the party we were at were like, "Who is that?"
Yeah,
I'm like, "I think
yeah.
it's Will I Am."
Yeah.
He had the craziest like head.
Yeah,
thing on.
which I mean, you know, that was an amazing to see. Like the final product. You know, like I didn't know what it was.
It was
look
dope.
Like
I mean,
and all that,
they
and
pulled it off great.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did. It was wonderful.
And then, you know, like, you know, do we put Luda's verse in? Well, yeah, we put it in, but like until that gets confirmed, like,
Yeah.
you know, we may
It's
have
just
to
a
take
wish.
it out.
It's like a
or,
wish
you know,
list. Yeah, we might have
Yeah.
to edit it. To see such an Atlanta show and him
Which-
carrying Atlanta on his back in a way and
Yeah.
bringing it to the world.
And I think it, you know, the stars aligned because
Yeah.
him doing that Vegas residency
Well, yeah.
at that time.
And he was
then
so in the
Super Bowl-
zone. Like, yeah, just the last podcast we recorded, we were saying how sometimes when you're DJing all the time, every week, like you're in that zone where you can just go kill it everywhere. And that's what
Yeah.
it felt like. He had been like
he was
doing this
he
thing.
was
He had
doing
learned
runs,
what
man.
works, what doesn't work, the psychology
Yeah.
of the crowd and how to perform the songs and what to emphasize and not, and the dances and
Yeah, now who knows? Like I'm a small part of it, but I'm a part of it. But
Right.
like who knows how far back they were predicting? You
Yeah.
know, like. But this was the perfect. Like this
Yeah.
is how you get ready for the Super Bowl. You
Yeah.
do 2 years of like insane Vegas residency shows, you know, and you try all these things and like
and every big musician and celebrity coming and loving it
Yeah.
and posting it and going, Usher, we love you. And you not like you're back, but like in a way, you know, like,
yeah, I mean it. That's why I think the stars aligned because it is.
Yeah.
It was the fact he was there. It was the Super Bowl being in Vegas. He did the residency. We're in that era where that era and nostalgia is as big as ever. It's like it's more cool to go back to the nostalgic things and like he's
Right.
got such a lengthy career of such amazing music and
Yeah.
to be able to showcase like bits of it all,
Right.
like amazing, you know.
Were there any other things that you learned from the process or unpredictable things that happened within the making of the show that, I mean, something like that potentially?
Not really. Like I kind of it was the same as all the other shows.
Yeah.
But I guess what I learned from all of them was the amount of changes and the amount of back and forth you do to
Right.
like secure that one thing. It's like, you know, you try every different possible combination that you can.
Yeah.
The thing that made it the reason why I wasn't there working until the very last day is that like, you know, on all the other shows we were able to make changes up to the almost the minute of performance, you know. Whereas this had to be locked in, you know, like
Yeah.
there was deadlines that like, you know, because it's broadcast and it needs to be prepared completely from start to finish, down to the second.
Yeah.
You know, like
And some
it
stuff
was
is
impressive enough watching the people like take the stage out, put
Right.
it down in that short amount of time, and then get it off afterwards.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
stage was crazy.
Yeah.
The LED circle
Yeah.
screen thing.
And the like how quick they get it on and off. You know,
crazy. I
Like,
can't believe that. Yeah.
like, and didn't leave one screw on the. You know, like that always blows my mind.
Right, one screw on the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah,
field.
on
I didn't
the
even
field.
think about that.
Yeah,
You're right.
like that was. I don't know why that was in my head a lot, but it kind of
True.
was because I'm like, everything that's being prepped is amazing, but it's built and what practiced on,
Yeah.
but then they got to get it
One
in and out
thing
within
could
minutes.
be messed up and
Yeah,
it could mess everything up.
yeah. So you know, like I don't even know
Everybody's
the number
under
of
pressure.
people that worked on it, but it was a lot. You know, it was such a giant production.
Yeah.
That, you know, even just seeing the little bits that I saw was like of that side of it. You know, was amazing because
Right.
you know, like I was just part of the producer team that put the music together, which
Yeah.
is insane. We had to see that on like the NFL YouTube and like watch it live, and then you know, like
It's incredible.
which is nuts. It's weird because this is my second Super Bowl experience. Like I had a song in 2017 appear in a Fast and the Furious trailer for the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
So I was like, oh, I'm back, but
That's dope.
yeah, not on that
This
scale.
is
It was
graduated
like-
level, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy.
Very cool.
But-
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, what a fucking experience, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you head back to Australia.
Yeah, I literally only came out just for this because like it's summertime in Australia and I like to do that, you know, like
why be in the winter?
And so come back out here and, you know, just witness what we've worked on and what they've then done and the show that they put together is like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, to see it and to hear it and like listen to parts, I'm like, oh, some of that came out of my Ableton. You know, I was able to say I'm a part of it is crazy to me, you know?
That's just like, so surreal.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
how amazing. Congrats, man.
Cheers.
And good job.
Fuck yeah.
But I mean, you could tell it was live, which was incredible.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing a lot of people say, like they were impressed.
Yeah.
Like
it didn't just seem like some lip sync show.
Which I was like, that's what he's meant to do. Like,
right. But I mean, we're living in an age where people don't do that.
People don't. But I mean, if anybody's seen his live show, you know, that's what he does. Like, he's singing and dancing.
I mean, he's roller skating. That's dangerous.
I kind of took that for granted at first. Like,
that's hard.
Because, I mean, not once it finally came to, but like, I didn't realize how impressive that actually was. Like, he's singing, dancing, and roller skating at the same time. Yeah. And it's so impressive, and the way that it went round in the circle, and he's spinning.
And then they had an after party, I guess, where they had a whole rink at Encore Beach Club or something, and they were all skating. Nuts. I saw a video of it. That's so amazing.
I mean, the whole Vegas was
electric.
Crazy.
I mean, you couldn't even walk around. You couldn't even move. Vegas is built for that in a way. Super Bowl, like where everybody wants to be, no matter what.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense. They never had a stadium or a team there, right?
Yeah,
like, that's why this is the first. But this is built.
Definitely not
that city is built for it. You know, they should just have it in Vegas every year.
I know, seriously.
But,
amazing. Well, congrats.
Thank you.
What about you know, we were talking about the different projects you've done, and how you produce dance music, and you've gone through ups and downs of loving stuff and not loving stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like you're back and you have a new project with a new name that you're going to be doing dance music again.
Everyone's going to hate me for saying
No, not at all. I think it's amazing. It's great to keep evolving and doing things.
I've been changing,
and it's great to get re-inspired and reinvigorated. And even like you talking about Lil Jon, he was a DJ. He stopped DJing. He was a producer. He stopped. He come back. You know, you come back and forth with it. So
in terms of like,
what's your new project you're working on, or your new reinvigorated dance?
Right now, I'm probably going to launch it like next week.
Okay.
Right now, it's called Luke Noise. It's like an evolution of my project I had was Luke Wild, but then there was another artist popped up during COVID. I kind of took a break because for mental issues, health issues too.
Right.
And like another artist appeared, so I'm like, I can't use that name. So I mean, I probably could, but I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna start fresh. I don't even want to deal with that battle. So it's gonna be called Luke Noise, and you know. When I started coming out here and getting into the production, working on like songwriting, I really started falling out of love with dance music, you know?
Interesting.
Like hip hop was my first love.
Yeah.
I did that, DJ'd that for 10 years before I even started making dance music.
Right.
And then, I don't know, just something about that era of big room and the commercial EDM and like twerk and trap, like, I don't know. I fell out of love with it. Like I'm not saying it got shit. I'm just saying I fell out of love with it, and I started working with artists on like indie music and acoustic stuff, soul music. I did a soul music project with an artist, like all this sort of stuff, and loved doing that. Dived deep into that. Got into my hip hop production way more.
Yeah,
with the Berry by Dog thing.
Yes,
and then you know, it wasn't till last year, like July of last year, that I was in a club in LA. And I almost had my eyes closed or ears shut to dance music. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize how cool it's got again, and like how dope some of the like the weirder genres of like the breakbeat stuff, or like how hard and dope some of this hard techno and this drum and bass, and like I'm really liking the hard fast shit, you know, like stuff. I'm making foot to the floor stuff at 170 BPM, you know?
Wow.
Like, and because that's what...
I want to hear it.
That's what people like in Australia, like. But I've been watching a lot of these boiler room sets, right, where it used to be like a dance DJ would come on and it's like they're playing 128 BPM set, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's back to like start at 130 and build all the way up to like some drum and bass at 160, 170, 180, you know, like, and it's this range of just cool shit. And yeah, people are kind of searching for new, harder, different shit again. And I just fell back in love with it and started working on this project. And just within 3 months, I'm like, I've got 7 songs mastered and like about 20 different ideas. And I'm just going to go hard. I'm just going to like this new world of independent music and releasing and teasing shit on socials. Like a lot of people hate on it, but I'm actually love it and I'm mad excited about it.
Yeah, that's great.
I feel like this finger food era we're in is good. Like make your shit quotables, you know?
Yeah.
I don't mind. I like short. I mean, I'm a mixtape intro guy,
right,
you know?
exactly.
Like
that's true.
30 seconds. I'd rather
You
make
can do
5.
a lot in 1 minute. Look what you just did in 12 minutes for the Super Bowl. So you can do a lot in 1 minute.
Yeah, and you know, like this idea of making your Dropbox public. It's like we're in the snippet space. It's like people want a song to blow up from the snippets or the previews before they release it. And I like that, you know. I like this kind of like, and
it almost can motivate you to finish it or go direction with it.
And I've been just in my own mind, like, yes, there's the finished song that ends up on the Spotify and iTunes and all that, but this area where we consider not finished but previewed, I consider that like a actual official release that people got to pay attention to, like filling that space up, you know.
Totally.
Like and having a bunch of snippets of a bunch of your ideas and like that's your catalog A and or B, whatever you want to call it, and then you got your actual release catalog, you know? Like there's more public sectors now of our, it's not just unreleased on your hard drive, released on Spotify anymore. There's that middle ground which is almost more important. It's the
helps you
stepping
connect with your community, your fans or people watching you or whatever you call it. Yeah.
These days it's not quality over quantity, like people used to say. It's if you want to be an artist, unfortunately, you have to do both.
Right, and if you can get to a point where you're quality with quantity,
that's what I mean. You almost have to be,
or figure out ways to break it into pieces, like you said. You know, maybe take one thing and then you can break that into a lot of quantity of your one quality thing.
You know, you even look at the way
people look at it as like the one song, but you could just have the elements and the different ways to pull it apart and dissect it and then put it back together for the final project.
It made sense to me completely when I love films, right? And like I pay attention to how they release on like their Instagram or their socials. And you're like, it's like a film that I get excited, like a new A24 film I might get excited for. They've got a snippet of a little bit of the trailer. They've got pictures, like screenshots behind the scenes. Like it's like, it's cut up into pieces and delivered to us like that. And it's like, you know, you want bits of it every day, you know? And then the fucking movie comes out and you're like, this is hype. It's like,
and then it lives on later through the clips and the
like,
quotables and all that stuff.
We got to look at that as the canvas to paint on, not like just the cheesy, crappy promotional tool that takes away from the art. It's like, put the art in that.
I like that. That's
chop it up. Like
that's a great way to look at it, and a good inspirational, reinvigorating way to look at it too. You know.
Well, I mean, that's just my weird fucking head.
It's cool.
Thinking way I like thinking.
Your weird head's doing pretty good.
Yeah, trying, man, trying.
We all have weird heads that we have to control, you know, our brain, but
the creative mind, man.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse, you know. It's
100%.
It's a tornado of insanity, of the most positive thing in the world, the most negative thing in the world, fighting within this crazy space, right?
That's why you got to take time for yourself, man, for your health, for your mental health, like mindfulness, all that shit. Like, otherwise it's like doing all chest, no legs, you know, you're top heavy. Like anxiety will run and all that shit and will run wild if you attach to every idea, which we do. We're like, this, that, boom, 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 everything.
It's so true.
And then you go to bed,
Yeah.
It's running at hyperspeed. You're like,
no,
we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't trade that for the world. I mean,
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's infinite ideas, but it's overloading for someone, just one brain sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You could also just have nothing, and that would suck.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I could. You know, when you're just sitting there.
Wish I was just an idiot.
Wish you were just like, I couldn't couldn't think.
Right.
But
yeah. It's
I mean,
hard. Just
I don't
turn
know
it
if
off.
that's anybody, right?
I know. I don't know.
Maybe you can switch off, but
That's a very non-motivated person.
yeah, nah.
That's
We're
so dope.
motivated cunts.
Well, yes, exactly. Motivated cunts. That's the new side project coming out.
MC.
MC. Amazing. Well, any other stuff that we should look out for, or where should people follow you? I know DJ Kronic.
Yep.
Kronic.
Yep. DJ Kronic on the socials.
And that people will find all your projects and everything
Yep.
going on there. I'm sure you get some recap Super Bowl-y things, or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe if you're allowed to.
Yeah. I'll post something about it today, which is the day after.
Right.
I don't know when this will come out, but
I don't know either. But soon.
But, yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
and then the new project is going to be called Luke Noise.
Okay.
So, and Noise spelt like Noize.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Dope.
so, just
Amazing.
Google that.
Google that, baby.
That's what I've been thinking. Like the tag is good, like the handle, but if you can get people typing the name in,
right,
get
Luke
people
Noise.
used to that,
Yeah.
then
Instead of
learned
just
that
going
from-
straight to the tag.
I learned that from some OnlyFans girls that I follow because they always get.
Why they spell their name weird and people have to search
because
it?
they're always getting flagged for promoting that type of site. So some of them do this thing where they're like, type my name into the search, type my name, and it just posts every day about type their name. And then so like it, because when you get
You become a
shadow
Google
banned,
trending.
you have to type it exactly before you see it. Right, that's what happens.
Oh, into the search of
into the
any,
yeah.
of like Instagram, you're saying, or a TikTok,
So
not
if you
just Google.
it's like training people's minds to know the name and know the typing
Yeah.
of it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Thanks, OnlyFans.
yes, for everything.
Yeah, for all of it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yo, well, thanks for taking the time to
Man,
come by
thank you.
and
Anytime for you, bro.
give us insight into what goes into making a Super Bowl halftime show. I mean,
Usher.
give yourself some credit, give
Bro, I
yourself
can't
some
believe
celebration, some time to really take it in. And I don't even know if it's fully soaked in for you, how amazing that is. And you're gonna look
it's a
back on
whirlwind,
it.
man.
Yeah,
it's
so
it's a
congrats,
whirlwind of
dude.
emotions.
Like, that's so dope. And it just shows all your hard work of 20 years of all of this going into it, and probably more. But it's incredible. I mean, it paid off, and there's only so much more to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to expect for the future, but I mean, I just play it, but I just try wing everything, just be excited with what I can and work on what I can
and you put your best foot forward and
do what I can.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Exactly. That's what we're all kind of doing in a way.
Yeah,
I mean, you can plan stuff out, but it may
you
not
can make
always
as much
go.
plans and try push for as many opportunities.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. And
Right.
at that point, everything's just luck,
Yeah.
But you just got to
be prepared for the opportunity.
Yeah,
and then
you will never
the
get
luck
lucky
will-
if you don't put yourself in a position to be lucky. So it's all luck, but you got to put yourself in that position. So the more times you put yourself out there to be lucky, you might get lucky. And
That's true.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
yes,
So
80%
take
of the
those
time
shots.
it works all of the time.
It's a perfect ending right
Yeah.
there. All right, yo,
Well,
DJ Kronic,
cheers,
thanks
bro.
for coming
You're a
on.
legend.
Yes, you're a legend.
Love
It's the DJ Spider Podcast presented by Beatsource. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sick cunts.
Fuck yeah, cunts. It's the DJ fucking Spider podcast. He's the maddest cunt in the fucking world.
Take it.